Kia ora and welcome to another Future Skills Academy webinar. My name is Ron McClay and I'll be your host today. Today we'll be going to be talking about our New Zealand Diploma in Construction in the Quantity Surveying strand, Level 6, and Bachelor of Construction, Level 7. With our programs, you can gain the skills to contribute greatly to the booming building industry at our Auckland campus on Queen Street. Meet the surging demand for construction professionals by learning technical, work-ready skills to price and manage construction projects. This degree broadens your skills in business and construction law and management. The New Zealand Diploma in Construction, Quantity Surveying, forms the first 2 years of the Bachelor of Construction. Learners can choose whether to enrol in the diploma or the degree. We'll be joined by Future Skills lecturer Omar Altaf, who will talk you through the course offerings and provide insight on what you will be learning. Omar is a senior lecturer teaching construction management and quantity surveying courses at the Otago Polytechnic Auckland International Campus. He is also a supervisor of construction research projects. He holds a PhD in civil engineering and a graduate diploma in tertiary education. He has 12 years of teaching and facilitating experience and research experience in construction-related courses. He's an active professional member of Engineering New Zealand, the New Zealand Geotechnical Society, and Buildings NZ. Omar is also working closely with engineering construction industry and local councils for different projects. Unfortunately, we don't have members from the recruitment team here today to answer your enrolment questions, so I do encourage you to email myself directly so I can pass them on to the right people, and I'll try and help out as much as I can. Please feel free to type in any questions you may have for Omar in the chat box at any time throughout the webinar. So what is Future Skills Academy? Well, we've been operating since 2001. We're a leading Category 1 training provider with campuses in Manukau and Royal Oak. We have an international campus in partnership with Otago Polytechnic in Auckland CBD with programs ranging from diplomas to masters. Our program offerings include health, IT, construction, and early childhood. So welcome, Omar. Thanks for joining myself and viewers today. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about both programs that Future Skills has to offer. What I have noticed is that you've got a PhD in civil engineering. Can you tell me a bit more about what you did on this program and the project that you worked on?
Kia ora, Rob. Kia ora, everyone. Thank you for having me on this webinar today. And yes, in my PhD in civil engineering from Auckland University, I worked with Auckland Council and Marlborough District Council, working on mapping the liquefaction hazard for the both regions. It was a very practical project for me because after 2011 earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand started funding into the earthquake research. And after 2016 Kaikoura earthquake, again, we saw that a lot of liquefaction. Liquefaction, if people don't know, it's like structure is very strong, but soil behaves like liquid. So then all the councils throughout the New Zealand, they start thinking about mapping for the consenting processes. So I was lucky enough at the right time to get that project. And I worked with industry, Auckland Council and university to map regions where liquefaction can happen in case an earthquake occurs. And later on, I also did some numerical modeling for volcanic soils in South Auckland and gravel-dominated soils in Blenheim region in New Zealand. So, and also these maps and reports are publicly available online. If anybody just Google it, liquefaction of Blenheim or liquefaction of Auckland, you will see that my reports will pop up, which I'm very proud of. It's really good.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. I'll be definitely checking that out after the webinar. But if anyone's interested in Omar's work, feel free just to give us an email, and we'll share that info. Because I think it's important to sort of know, the lecturers that you'll be learning with. Their qualifications and experience, I think, are important. So you'll be in really great hands if you decide to come on one of our programs. Because Omar is pretty good. Thanks, Omar. So we're going to be sort of going through the programs. So I believe that you've got a presentation, Omar, around what students will be learning, and you've also got a couple of student success stories that you mentioned earlier in our past meeting, which I think are really useful for potential learners to look at. So feel free just to share your screen, Omar, and we'll crack into what students will be learning. Perfect. Thanks, Omar.
You can see it all right. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. All right, ready to go?
Okay, yeah. So you have already introduced me. Thank you very much for that. And again, as Rob said, we have New Zealand Diploma in Construction, which is level 6, first 2 years, 240 credits. And then if anybody wants, they can come back or continue for year 3 Bachelors of Construction. And that is happening in the heart of the city on Queen Street. If I talk about some of our staff, other than me, so I'm really excited to share with you that we have very qualified team, teaching team, and also the support team there. So we have people who have PhDs. All of our staff holds or doing their PhDs at the moment, in addition to their teaching qualification, which is graduate diploma in tertiary education. And we have the people working, they have work experience also in industry, and also they are right now linked to industry in the capacity of civil engineering, quantity surveying, also architecture. Because when we are teaching quantity surveying bachelor's or the diploma, so it's not just one specific topic. We have to cover all the construction aspects of a residential building or a commercial building. So it's very good that we have a multidisciplinary team working on different courses. So for example, if we have a course which is more talking about the architectural aspects of a building, so we have a special lecture for that. And specifically, if a person, in some of the courses, we will be touching on services of the building. So we have specialist lectures for that. And then in addition to this qualification, they all are also coming from different backgrounds. So it becomes a very diverse team, which can teach and also communicate with you, not just the academic level, but also the other intrapersonal skills.
Sounds like you've got a great team with you there, Omar. Plenty of great experience and qualifications. So definitely students are in good hands. So I'm curious about the support that you offer around the studies. Can you expand on that from an academic point of view?
Yes. So at Future Skills AIC campus, we have, first of all lecturers are always there for their support. Any students who are struggling with academic assignments or anything, we have our dedicated consultation hours in which students can always reach us. And in addition to that, thanks to technology, Teams and emails, everybody is available for students. So the students who are struggling in any academic level, we have a system called peer tutors. So peer tutors are available throughout the week, and the students who are struggling can book an appointment with them. And also as lecturers, when we see that someone is struggling in some of the courses and they need some extra support, so we always refer them to the peer tutors. In addition to that, we have a dedicated team called Student Success Team at our campus. So Student Success Team is the team which is dedicatedly working with students. They are monitoring their progress. And if students need any kind of support, even which is not academic, for example, some of our students were struggling with some internet issues and they were struggling with having some computers. So our campus and our dedicated team helped them with that. And also we have some counseling services available for students. So if they are struggling with any kind of problem which is hindering their studies, and if we can help, we are always there. And in addition to that, in some of our courses, we need extra support. Let's say students are going to learn some software skills, like very basic Microsoft Excel, or later on more advanced Microsoft Project or Costex. So we have extra tutorials and extra, which are not scheduled in the timetable, but we have pop-up, you can say, workshops available for students to learn that. And for, let's say, if students are studying in year 3 and they are doing research, so they have APA referencing and research workshops. So all that have proved also very effective. So some of the students who were struggling in the first block in the beginning, and we have seen that they have been very good, and they get success at the end using all those supports which we are providing here.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Omar. There sounds like Future Skills has a great wraparound support for students. So that's really great to hear. Can you tell us a bit more about the course content and what you'll be teaching?
Again. So there are a range of courses, and I was explaining that our diploma and bachelor's in construction quantity surveying is not just focusing on one aspect. So in order to become a good quantity surveyor, you need to know the basics of construction of a building from very beginning, that what are the different components of the building. That's why we have construction technology for small and medium-sized buildings. So small buildings like residential houses, and which are up till 3 stories. And then we have the medium-sized buildings, which are 3 to 5, and then the large buildings. So they learn from the beginning very basics, that what are the different components in a building. And then they will learn about New Zealand construction law, and then other legislative requirements they need to work in the industry. Core courses of quantity surveying are measurements and estimating. So if I see that what is the definition of a quantity surveyor, if I say, so it will be like, if I give you a drawing and you can give me an estimate of a project, then you are a good quantity surveyor. So in order to price a project well, you need to know what the project is, what is beam, what is column, what are the different lining systems available in New Zealand. So that's why you will learn about different courses in measurements, estimating. You will learn Costex software. Some of you may have already heard the names because they are used in industry. And you will take off the quantities. And then you will learn about different databases available in New Zealand and suppliers pricing, that how we can cost a project very well. Later on, we will also touch upon the procurement and tendering part. So as a quantity surveyor, later on, people also get, when they become senior in their career, they also can get the job as project managers. So the other skills like procurement, tendering also helps that. So for example, if you have priced a project, but later on, you're also involved in the procurement of different building materials. And some of our students are already working as procurement managers. And also in the tendering process, that choosing the contractor right. So QS can work on client side or on the contractor side. So we teach that skills in our tendering and procurement course. Building information modeling, this is a hot topic these days, very new, and even the New Zealand government is accelerating that. So value management and building information modeling using the new softwares and taking off quantities from the 3D models rather than 2D models. We teach that in that course. Planning the overall cost of a project, budgeting process, and how in different stages of a construction project, we will allocate funds, and how we can make sure that the planning of the overall cost of the project will be done, let's say, for the next 6 months or 1 year. Risk management and site safety course. So site safety in construction is very important because there are chances of getting any kind of hazard. So that's why we will learn in detail what are the site safety protocols, what are the resources, and as a construction professional, what you will be doing and preparing, for example, the documentation when people will be working on site or you will be working on site. And similarly, risk management for different risks involved in a construction project. Contracts are very important. So contract administration will cover different techniques and New Zealand standards and how the contracts are formed in construction projects and what are the roles and responsibility of different parties in that. Programming will use the latest software, for example, Microsoft Project, and you will program the Gantt chart for the whole project so that we can monitor the progress and everything goes on time. And similarly, we will learn about variation order, New Zealand standards, and waste management. So all that in project planning. So these are some of the core topics which we cover in our courses.
Very, very extensive, Omar. I've got a question. With the entry requirements, what do you need to do to enroll into the diploma program? What sort of experience do you need, or can you expand a bit more on that?
In this one, you need to have the basic qualification in which you have at least level 4, I think, the mathematics.
Okay.
But if you definitely, we are starting from that's why we are starting from the very basic of the construction. Our first course, small building. So you don't need to have a construction experience or knowledge to enter into this qualification. So if you have completed your high school, so you can apply. The only thing is because it's more on mathematical side, so you must have mathematical related courses studied in your previous.
Okay, nice. I'm also curious around how does Future Skills help students to get work experience after sort of completing one of these programs? Can you expand a bit more on that?
So one of the good thing about our courses already before they pass out is that we have all the material assessments which are coming from industry. So we have real-time case studies. So students are already getting hands-on experience, which they will be working after graduating. So they are not, for example, we work on the scenarios and the projects which are actually happening in the industry. They are not something made up usually. So they got that experience. And later on, we also have employability team. So internship is not required in this course, but still our employability team at our campus is working closely with the industry. So if a student is performing really good, so they also help them in their interview skills and if the employability have some opportunity, so we pop that up for the good students to take in. And in the past, some students have taken those opportunities even before completing their qualification. But a lot of support is provided to prepare for their interviews, connecting them with the industry, and having some industry speakers coming to the campus to talk to them. That very effective because students can know that what industry wants and what skills they're looking for. So that helps them to prepare.
It's very useful. Very useful sort of thing to have with Future Skills, being able to help students to pathway into jobs. So while it's quite a I think it's quite unique to Future Skills. I understand that you've got a couple of students or case studies or success stories that you want to have a discussion about. Do you want to have a look at those?
Yes, of course. So first of all, I want to talk about one of our graduates, James Norder. So he was with us doing New Zealand Diploma Level 6, and he graduated in May 2022. And then after completing his roles, his qualification, he took up a role as quantity surveyors and a project manager actually in 2 companies, which were startup, and he worked on really amazing projects. So he come from the background, which was sales consultant and also business development manager. And he was handling some of the rental properties. And then he realized that he wanted to be on the other side and developing those construction projects. And being a construction professional, he thought that it's more rewarding. And then he got to know this opportunity from the Future Skills, that the diploma from Future Skills is one of the things which can help him achieve his dreams. And he, according to in his words, he just took a break from his work and in 2 years, he changed his role from consultant sides, from the sales consultant manager side, to a construction professional himself. And he thinks that Future Skills was a catalyst in his career. Why? Because again, he was just there last weekend talking to our students, and he shared with us that he has worked on one of the new Fonterra milk depot in Penrose. And this is a huge project, and it's gonna cater 40% of the milk which is utilized in Auckland region. So what he did in that, so as a quantity surveyor, he was involved in taking of quantities. Taking of quantities means that he was working the drawings which he got from the architects or consultants. He worked on those drawings and come up with the quantities, that how much different material will be required. And then later on, he priced on that. He was also involved in procurement and contract side as well. So that's a big achievement for him, that being just 29-year-old graduate from our school, he got this huge opportunity and he did really well. Similarly, he worked on warehouse in Hugo Johnston Drive, Penrose. And he shared with us that he used some of the templates which we provide in our class as his work. So he thought that he's doing, again, the work which he was doing in the class, but now he's also getting paid for that. And also his employers are very happy that he has good skills, and he felt that he was ready to work on these huge projects after studying his diploma in future skills.
Having that self-confidence is very, very useful when going into the job market. And yeah, I think you guys did a great job with James. Great story. You've also got one other person that you wanted to have a talk about.
Yes, so our current student, Ming Min, she completed her New Zealand diploma, and then she thought that she want to continue, and now she is in year 3 doing bachelor's. So she is a very bright student and A+ most of the courses. So what is happening that New Zealand Institute of Quantity Surveying, this is a governing body for quantity surveying. So most of our standards and whatever is happening in the quantity surveying field is coming from New Zealand Institute of Quantity Surveying, short form NZIQS. All of our students are student members of NZIQS, and our teachers are full members of NZIQS. There are certain criteria which people need to met before they can be a full member. So they run this competition, or you can say a scholarship, which can help some students to pay for their tuition in year 3. So students from different polytechs throughout the New Zealand, they applied for this. And the main thing with NZIQSC is the student record, what they have worked on, and their teachers' recommendations. So she prepared a really good case for her, and she only 3 out of so many people who are applying won this scholarship bursary, $2,500. And it was covered in NZIQS newsletter, which is on their website available. So it was a good achievement for her, and also it's a good example for other students who are studying with us, so that if they perform well, so there are a lot of opportunities. I know that she will be getting a really good job once she pass out, because she already have a good CV ready because of the bursary, and with a great achievement of winning that.
Yeah, I think having the NZIQS scholarship awarded to her and that being on her CV, I think a lot of companies would take note of that. So that's great work there. What I did find interesting was how we've got the New Zealand Diploma Level 6. They do 2 years there, and you can finish there, right? Come away with the qualification. Or if you want to do a bit more, you can pathway into the construction, the bachelor's Level 7, so just do another year. So you can effectively come out with 2 qualifications. Is that correct?
Yes, so they get 2 qualifications. As you already know, that level 6 is diploma, and sometimes some students who are already working, and after a few years they want to come back and get another qualification for level 7, or some students want to continue.
Yeah, very useful. So just to wrap things up, what's the requirements for students to attend? What's for the diploma? What do they need to do? How many days a week do they need to come to school, to campus?
So our structure of teaching and future skills is that we have 4 blocks in a year. So it's 9 weeks of teaching, and then 2 weeks of breaks usually in between that. And we have a bit of longer break mid-year and in the start. So we have 30 credits in 1 block. So what is the expectation for a full-time student is that they spend full-time 40 hours, but on campus study is usually 16 hours. And that can be distributed to sometimes 3 days. So usually at the current timetable, it's 3 days. They are coming to cover 16 hours of teaching, you can say facilitator-led teaching. And then there are certain activities which are, they have to do on their own times. And we also use the word authentic work experience for them, that they have a lot of work which they need to do on their own for their own capabilities to build up. And then definitely they need some time for doing their assessments to pass the course. So requirement is that they, for a 15 credit paper, they do 150 hours. Usually 50 hours are on campus in an 8 weeks block, and then rest are for their own time doing assessments and authentic work experience.
Great. Well, I think we've covered most things in today's webinar. If you are interested in going further with the program, looking at enrolling or want to put through an application, if you go to the Future Skills website, you'll see some buttons down the bottom here: inquire, book a call, or apply. You can click on them and it will take you through to the appropriate pages. You'll also get, you can also email myself or Omar after today's presentation, and we can put you through to the right people to enroll. So I think we'll wrap it up there. So Omar, do you have anything final you want to say to people watching today?
I'll just say that this, again, one of the things is that this qualification being construction is very rewarding, and also it's in a skill shortage at the moment, and New Zealand needs a lot of people. So there are a lot of opportunities. And if you are one of the persons who enjoys working hands-on work on construction and working on building something and different roles, then this qualification is for you. And I wish everybody good luck.
Great. Thanks, Omar. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you for everyone who's been watching today. And for those who haven't attended, we will be sending out an email with this video and webinar with all the contact info as well. So once again, thank you very much for joining us, and we will probably see you on the next webinar. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, everyone, for watching. See you next time.
Bye.